The Man Across the Hall. I used to think I was just tired. You know the kind. End of the day, email fatigue, burnt toast tired. I'd get home from my job in IT support, reheat leftovers, watch an episode of something nobody talks about anymore, and then scroll on my phone until I either fell asleep or couldn't stand my own thoughts. That was my life. Uneventful, predictable, comfortably numb if I'm honest. But things started to feel off around mid-February. It was the man across the hall. Apartment 4B. I didn't even know his name, just that he was pale, always wore the same gray hoodie, and left at strange hours. Like 3 a.m. with a gym bag. Who works out at 3 a.m.? At first I ignored him. People live differently, right? But then I started noticing little things. Like the smell. Metallic and damp. Like pennies soaked in dishwater. It would drift through the hallway whenever he opened his door. I thought maybe it was mold or something worse. Then there was the sound. Every night, and I mean every night, at 2:13 a.m., I'd hear a dragging noise, like furniture being pulled across the floor. Always the same rhythm. Scrape, pause, scrape. Never hurried. Always measured. It got to the point where I stopped sleeping properly. I'd lie in bed with my heart racing, waiting for the sound to begin. And when it did, I'd stare at the ceiling, counting every drag. 1, 2, 3. I wanted to say something. Maybe to the super. But what would I say? Hey, the guy across from me sounds weird at night? That's New York. Weird is ambient noise. But then something changed. Last Tuesday, the noise stopped. Not gradually, just silence. No creak, no drag, nothing. That should have calmed me. But it didn't. You don't miss a sound until it's gone. The next morning as I left for work, I noticed something taped to his door. A pink sticky note. Just one word. Sorry. I don't know why, but that word hit me hard. Maybe because no one says sorry unless something went really wrong. I stood there for a good minute, just staring at it. I considered knocking. I didn't. By Thursday, the smell was worse. Stronger. Not just metallic, sour too. Like old meat. I tried not to think about it. But that night I broke. At 2:11 a.m., I stood at his door, listening. My heart was thudding in my ears. I raised my hand and knocked 3 times. No answer. I knocked again. Louder. Still nothing. So I did something I regret. I twisted the knob. It was unlocked. The apartment was dark, except for a faint blue glow coming from deeper inside. I hesitated. Every part of me screamed to walk away, but I stepped in. The place was nearly empty. Just a mattress on the floor, a desk, and the source of the glow, a computer monitor. On it, a Word document. Open, unsaved. I leaned in to read. I'm sorry, I can't keep pretending I don't exist. I see how people look through me, like I'm furniture, noise, but I am here, and I need someone to notice me, just once. I don't want to be invisible anymore. I read it again, then a third time. It hit me like a truck, because it was my writing. I don't mean it felt familiar. I mean it was mine. Word for word, from an old journal entry I wrote years ago, before I moved to the city, before I got this job, before I gave up trying to be someone. I backed away from the desk, blood pounding in my temples. That's when I saw the wall. Taped across it were dozens of photos of me, walking to work, sitting in my living room, ordering takeout, each one dated, time-stamped, watched. The man in 4B had been following me, or so I thought, until I looked closely and realized something I still can't explain. There was no man in the photos, only me, standing, staring, smiling at nothing. The apartment was empty. No clothes, no dishes, no signs of life, no signs of anyone, except for the writing, and the photos, and the memory I'd buried years ago. because 4B had always been empty. I just needed someone else to carry the loneliness. And when there wasn't anyone, I made him up.